We are diving deep today into the global landscape of radio control models. Those incredible tiny machines. Our mission, initially anyway, was pretty simple. Find the one big museum, the flagship place celebrating all of RC history. Cars, planes, boats, the works.
Yeah, and what we found, well, it became clear almost immediately. That single global RC museum, it just doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist, really.
There's no single Louvre for little machines.
Hmm.
Instead, the history is super specialized. It's preserved across this whole ecosystem of different places, specialist museums, military archives, even, well, non-physical collections. So what we did was piece together the map, and that's what we want to walk you through.
Okay, a map. I like that.
Right.
Let's unpack this map then. Where do we start?
Let's start with maybe the exception that proves the rule. The place that does treat these models like fine art.
Ah, right. The Miniature Engineering Craftsmanship Museum down in Carlsbad, California.
Exactly. Their focus isn't really speed or, race wins. It's the sheer skill of the builder. They treat these models like functional sculptures.
Functional sculptures. I like that.
And the level of craftsmanship is just, it's hard to believe sometimes.
Give us an example. What's the standout piece?
Okay, you have to talk about the 14-scale Hemi-powered Cobra. It weighs 60 pounds, built by Roger Butson.
Wait, 60 pounds, a 14 scale Hemi.
Working Hemi. He actually reverse engineered parts from plastic model kits just so we could machine running gasoline engine from scratch.
That's incredible. I mean, the dedication alone. What's the biggest challenge there? Making tiny engine parts or getting the radio control to work with a spark ignition engine?
You hit it. It was the control.
Yeah.
That actually ties into our final point later on.
Mm-hmm.
Butson worked for years perfecting it. He finally cracked it in 2022, figuring out how to isolate the RC receiver from all the electromagnetic noise from the ignition.
Yeah.
Made it fully controllable.
Just pure mastery. And they have other examples of that kind of monumental miniature work, right? Like that tank.
Oh yeah, the 1/16 scale British MKIV battle tank. Stephen J. King built it.
Yeah.
Over 1,200 tiny steel rivets, all set by hand.
Wow. Okay, so that's the art side. But you said the history breaks down.
Right. It gets very specialized by domain. So if you're into RC flight, there's one clear destination.
That's got to be the National Model Aviation Museum in Muncie, Indiana.
Bingo. World's largest. They have something like over 11,000 artifacts related to model aviation.
And some real history makers in there, like Howard Bonner's Smog Hog from 56.
Absolutely pivotal. It won the multi-class RC Nationals back then. It really pioneered multi-channel aerobatic flight, showing what was actually possible with remote control at the time.
Okay, so demonstrating what's possible, that leads us somewhere else, doesn't it? The military connection.
It does, directly. For that specific history, military drones, RPVs, remotely piloted vehicles, you need to go to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The Aviation Unmanned Vehicle Museum in Caddo Mills.
Yeah.
It's basically built around the collection of its founder, Eltine Gold-Herald Red Smith. Purely military drone history.
And they have one piece that's just irreplaceable, right?
They do. It's the only surviving proof of concept BGM-34B strike drone from the Vietnam era, part of a program called Have Lemon.
And that drone, that represents a real shift, doesn't it? From just watching to actually engaging.
Precisely. That's the moment this tech clearly transitions from observation or target practice to, offensive weapon systems.
It's kind of profound thinking the lineage goes from hobbyists figuring out aerobatics to that.
The shared tech is the control. That's the key link.
Okay, now, here's the big question, the one I think a lot of listeners might have. RC cars, Tamiya, Kyosho, all those iconic brands, immensely popular. Are you seriously telling me there's no major dedicated museum for them? It seems like a huge gap.
It is surprising, isn't it? But largely, yes. There isn't a big public institution like the ones for planes or military drones focused just on RC car history.
So where is that history kept?
It's primarily preserved
Yeah.
in print, believe it or not.
In books.
Sort of. In these highly sought-after Japanese publications called MOOCs. It's a blend of magazine and book, specifically the ones titled Tamiya Vintage RC Car Museum. Those volumes are basically the definitive historical record, the catalog for Tamiya's iconic first 100 RC cars. Covers roughly 1976 to 1992, high-res photos, the box art, everything.
So the museum is literally on your bookshelf if you can find those MOOCs.
Wow, okay. That brings us kind of full circle then. Let me try and summarize this for you listening. The Global RC Museum isn't one building. It's this decentralized network. It's made up of art galleries showing incredible craft, military archives, big aviation centers, and, collectors' bookshelves filled with these detailed Japanese books.
Exactly. Which leads to maybe the most interesting question. What's the most important artifact in this whole hobby? We've looked at these amazing models, right? The Cobra, the tank, the drones. But if you look at the Virtual Radio Control Hall of Fame, archallaffame.org, what do they prioritize?
What do they prioritize? The electronics, the actual control systems. Things like the Logictrol one or the first Minex proportional system. It suggests that maybe the technology of control itself, the ability to, remotely make a machine do what you want, maybe that's the real core artifact here.
That's a fascinating thought. The control system, not just the thing being controlled. So whether your interest is art, military tech, or just the sheer geeky joy of making tiny things work, there's an archive out there for you. The question is, where will you start your RC history journey?